Hi, and welcome to Creating Digital Art Using Python Turtle Graphics. My name is Scott Bartow, and this class is offered to you by the Clifton Park Half Moon Library. So, if you look at the screen, you can see I've brought up the website python.org, and here is where you're going to go to download Python onto your machine. So once you go out to python.org, you would click on the Downloads tab, and you would download Python 3.96, which is the latest version. It will download Python to your machine, and included in Python in the download will be the library Turtle Graphics. And that's what we're going to be using today. It would be helpful if you had a little bit of background in Python to be able to use to really fully utilize Turtle Graphics. But let's see. But that's it's a very simple download. Once it's on your machine, you would then the other thing that gets downloaded with Python is the text editor that we're going to be using in this class called IDLE, I-D-L-E. And let's see, if I go to, I'll bring up IDLE. Oops. Actually, it's right here. All right, so if I bring up IDLE, once again, it's called IDLE. And when you open up IDLE, the text editor, it will open up to the command line, which is, if you look in the upper left-hand corner of my screen, you can see I've got Python 3.6.1 shell. So this is the Python shell. And what this does is, this is the command line. This is where you can type in commands and one line at a time. We're going to be using the text editor IDLE to be able to do a multi-line program in Python. So once you have the Python shell up, the way to open up your IDLE text editor session is to click on File, and let's do a new file. All right, and now this is the IDLE text editor. So what I'll do is I will put the Python shell over to the right of my screen. Just a little bit bigger. And I'll do this. This will be my text editor. I'm just getting things lined up on my screens. All right, so here's the text editor, and here's the Python shell. So let's go off to the right in the Python shell. I'm going to, so the prompt for the Python shell is 3 greater than signs. Now, if I do the command import turtle and hit enter, module not found, name turtle. Let's see. Oh, I spelled turtle wrong. T-U-R-T-L-E. All right. So now at the command line, I'll do import turtle, hit enter, and I get the prompt back, which tells me that I have the turtle library loaded on my machine, and it's ready to use the turtle library. So let's move over to the left side of the screen in the IDLE text editor. And here is where we're going to do a real quick basic turtle program. And what we'll do is you have to start your program. If you're using Turtle Graphics, you have to start your program by importing the turtle library. So import space turtle. and then enter. Then on the next line, we want to create a turtle. All right, that's going to be on the screen, and the way we do this is we give it a name. I'm going to use my son's name, Ben. So Ben space equals space, and then you reference the turtle library, so turtle dot, and then we're going to call a method from the turtle library called pen, capital P, pen, parentheses, parentheses, and oops. I have to get things lined up again. All right, there it is. Okay, and then hit enter, and we'll go on the next line, and now we're going to give our turtle named Ben a shape. Let's see, and we'll do double quotes, turtle, double quotes, parentheses. And you can use double quotes or single quotes, but you have to be whatever you decide to use, it has to be the same for the beginning quote and the end quote. So if I use double quotes, it has to be double quote, turtle, double quote. If I use single quotes, it has to be single quote, turtle, single quote. All right, what's next? All right, so this is our basic turtle program, our first one. We're importing the turtle library. We're creating a turtle named Ben, and we're giving it a pen to write with. And then we're also giving our turtle named Ben a shape. And we're giving it the turtle shape. If you don't give it a shape, it will be an arrow. That's the default shape for your turtle. But the actual turtle shape is pretty interesting. So, and the way to run your program in idle in the text editor is to do up at the toolbar, you want to click on run, and then click the third option down, run module. All right, pop-up window will come up. It says source must be saved. Okay to save it. So you hit OK for the first time, and it will bring up a file explorer. And here we're going to want to, in a folder on your machine, you're going to want to do. You want to go to the folder, maybe for this class, maybe call it Turtle Graphics. And we're going to go into the folder that I have set up, if I have one. Yeah, why don't I create a folder? So I will create a new folder, and create digital art using Python turtle graphics. Enter. Okay, go into that folder, and then the file name is going to be what do we call it? This basic. All right, and it's going to have an extension of .py. In this case, since the save as type are Python files, I don't have to, for the file name, I can just say basic. I don't have to put the .py, but I'm just putting it in for demonstration purposes. But every Python program is going to have the file name of the program is going to have an extension .py. So I do basic.py, I click save. Once I hit save, it's going to run it. And it's going to run it in Python Turtle Graphics screen. And if you look over to the right, when I ran the program over in the command line in the Python shell, it did a restart. It called the off my hard drive, the C drive. It's called the library online classes. One of classes, create digital art using Python Turtle Graphics. And then it's called the program basic.py. All right, so it ran it and it opened up a new screen called Python Turtle Graphics. All right, so, and all our program's doing is bringing in the turtle library. It created a turtle named Ben and gave it a pen, and then it gave it a shape of turtle. And so if you look over here, you can see it's got a nice turtle shape. It's not doing anything because we haven't told it to do anything yet. All right, so now let's go over some of the basic commands in Turtle Graphics. All right, so now we're gonna have to use a few Python concepts that you might not know if you're not familiar with anything in Python yet. We'll cover some of the basic stuff that we're going to be using in our Turtle Graphics program. So the first thing is in Python, the hashtag. If you start a line with a hashtag, it will be a comment. And so I do hashtag, and I'm just going to name this file with a comment. So it would be basic.py, right? And you can see in my text editor off to the left, once you do the hashtag, it turns the line red. So this will not be read by the computer. It's just for your, as a programmer, it's for your reference. So you can put comments in anywhere you like. So I could put one in here after the import. You just have to start it with a hashtag. So I'll say importing turtle library. And so these comments throughout your program, you don't want too many comments because it'll clutter up your program, but having some will help you or somebody else who's using your program identify what different parts of the program are actually doing. All right, so first, that's how you do a comment, is you start the line off with a hashtag in Python. And then we have our import of the turtle library. We created a turtle named Ben. We gave it a pen, and then we gave it a shape. So now let's give the pen a specific color. All right, and the way to do that is you call your turtle Ben dot, and then we call the method pen color parenthesis, and we're gonna give it a color of blue. And there's a whole list of Turtle Graphics colors that you can use. Some are pretty interesting, like forest and cyan. I think they have gold and olive, but you can find those online. What color names are actually usable in Turtle Graphics. And what this did is it gave it a pen color of blue. And so what I'm going to do is, well, let's do a couple more commands to see all this stuff actually be run. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to give it a pen size. So I call my turtle Ben dot pen size, and then in parentheses we're going to give it the number of pixels. We want the line to be drawn with our pen. So I'll start it with 30. All right. So parentheses 30. Okay. So now let's do. All right. So that's our pen size. Now let's just move it forward. So I do Ben dot forward parentheses, and you have to tell it the number of pixels you want it to move forward. All right. So the turtle's pointing to the right. If you look off to the right of my screen, you see my turtle, and you see his head is pointing to the right. All right, so I'm going to go forward. And I'll just say, I'm just going to move him 50 pixels. All right, so now we're ready to run this program. Let's see if we get a pen color of blue. The size is 30, and we're moving him forward 50 pixels. All right, so do run module. Once I click OK, so the file has already been named and saved one time. So when I click OK, it's going to run my program. And there it is. All right, so here's my pen color's blue. It's 30 pixels for the pen size for the line. That's how wide it is, and it moves forward. The turtle went from here, where my cursor is, over to here. All right. So yeah. So those are some basic commands. Now let's do a few more. All right. Okay. So now, why don't we have the turtle? We're gonna have the turtle draw a square. All right. So we have him moving 50. Remember, I'm going to change that to have him move forward 100. All right. And then we'll do bend dot right. And this is in degrees, not pixels. So I'm going to have it move a right angle, right? Because we need right angles for our square. So he'll go right 90 degrees. And bend dot forward. Parenthesis, 100, parenthesis. And then bend dot right. 90. Bend forward 100, and bend right. And one more bend forward, and that's all we need. All right. So now let's run our program. So run module. Click enter, and see how the turtle's moving. It went forward 100, turned right by 90 degrees, down 100, turned right 90 degrees, over 100, and then turned right and went up 100. So we have this nice square. Now, what if I want to fill in the square with a color? So inside the square, you have this white background. What if I want to actually put a color in there? And the way to do that is before you have your first bend dot forward, before the square is being drawn, you want to start it with bend dot fill color. And fill color is going to be red. So I'll do double quotes, RED, and enter, and then we'll do bend dot begin underscore begin underscore fill parenthesis. That's not it. Parenthesis. All right. And then at the very end, after the last line has been drawn for our square, we're going to do a bend dot end underscore fill parenthesis. All right, so this should fill our square with red. So close that out. So let's run module. Click OK to run our program. It comes up, draws a square, and fills it with red. Now this made our turtle red, right? Because that's the last color it was dealing with. So that's our fill color, all right. So that was our nice square. Now, what if we want to move the pen? We can use a command called go to. All right, so I drew my square, I filled my square, and now I want to move it somewhere else on the screen. All right, so I would do bend. So I call my turtle, bend dot go to. Oops. And go to parentheses and say I want to move it to 80, 80. These are the coordinates, right? 80 is the first number is for the x axis and the second number is for the y axis. Remember, x goes across the screen, left to right, and y goes top to bottom of the screen. All right, so by using the command go to, I can go to a certain point on the screen, giving it an x coordinate and a y coordinate. So I do run module, click OK, and there it comes. Now the only problem is when I finish filling the square, drawing the square, filling it, then I wanted the turtle to move up here, but I didn't want it to draw the line, right? And the commands you want to use for that is, so before I do my go-to, after I'm done filling the square, before I do my go-to, I want to use a command that will allow me to pick up the pen. So all I have to do is say Ben, the turtle named Ben, pen up, parenthesis, parenthesis. All right, so I picked up my pen, I moved to the location, and then if I'm ready for it, I'll put the pen back down, pen down. So the two new commands you're learning here are pen up, pen down. All right, so you pick the pen up or put it down anytime you want. And so let's do a run module, click OK. And what do we have? My square is filled and it moves our turtle up to the coordinates, the point on the screen, 80, 80. But without drawing the line. Now, at this point, my turtle, I issued the command. The last thing I did was issue the command pen down. So at this point, the turtle would be able to write. So let me show you. If I do a bend forward at this point, let's see, and say I want to move 70, and I'll do a run module. It'll go to that spot, and then it'll draw another line. 1, 2, 3, 4, fill. It went to the spot 80, 80 right here, and then we did forward up 70 pixels. All right, so a couple more things. All right, so instead of drawing this line here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a circle. All right, so with Turtle Graphics, we have a circle command. So bend.circle, parenthesis, and now here, this is what goes inside the parentheses for the circle command in Turtle Graphics is not it's not pixels like with the forward. It's not degrees like with right or left, and it's not. So what it is the radius. All right, so it's the radius in pixels. So if I make a circle with a radius of 20 pixels, let's see how that looks. So I'm going to draw my square, fill it in with red, pick up my pen, go to a certain spot on the page, put the pen back down, and then at that point, I'm going to draw a circle with a radius of 20. So I'll run it, run module. Nice square, goes up. Now, what if I wanted to fill the circle? Well, let's say I want to make the circle bigger. So instead of using 20 for the radius, I want to make it 60. Oh, yeah, 600 is too big. All right, but say I want to fill it in, just like I filled in the square. Well, the way to do that is to copy these two lines. I'll just type it in. Since everybody's learning this for the first time. So I'll call my turtle Ben dot, and then I have to use fill color, parenthesis. This time I'm going to use a different color. Why don't I use yellow? Double quotes, yellow, and close out with the parenthesis. Hit enter, and then you have to do Ben dot begin fill, begin underscore fill, parenthesis, nothing inside of it. And then you have to, after the circle is drawn, we have to do Ben dot end underscore fill, parenthesis. All right, so now I'll do run module. Click OK. Here it comes. Nice square, fill it with red. Nice circle, fill it with yellow. All right. And whatever color you end with, you'll be ended with the color yellow to fill the circle, is what the turtle becomes. So now the turtle's yellow. And then one more basic thing that you can use is the command. Now this command is not. So far we've been dealing with commands that come from the function pen, right? So way up here we created a turtle, reference turtle library, and then in pen basically is a package, I guess, with a whole bunch of other methods that you can use, right? So when you have pen loaded in your program, then you can use things like shape, pen color, pen size, fill color, begin fill, forward, right, left, backward, and fill, etc., etc. But now here, to change the background color of our screen, we have to call something. We have to call a method called BG color. For BG stands for background, so background color. So we have to reference the turtle, not the turtle that we created. In this program, we created a turtle named Ben, but the turtle library dot BG color. All right. So this method BG color is in the turtle library. It's not in the pen package. And so now we have to give it a background color. What would be a good color? Something weird. I can show you cyan. Cyan. I think that's how it's spelled. Double quotes and that. And we'll do a run module. Click OK. Here it comes. Do my circle, fill it, and background color. Oh, didn't like the cyan. I think I just spelled it wrong. Let's see, cyan. I think it's 2. And, let's do something else. How about gold? I think gold works fine. Run module. Let's see what happens. I know cyan is one of the colors. I just spelled it wrong. So gold doesn't look very contrasting against the yellow that's used to fill the circle. So I'm going to use something a little bit different real fast. How about purple? There we go. All right, so BG color is a command you want to pull from the turtle library directly. So turtle.bg color is what you use. And this will fill in the entire screen because you don't want to do Ben dot, the turtle named Ben in this program dot BG color because BG color is used for the whole screen. It's not used for an individual turtle. Okay, so that's it for our basic program. You have to feel for some of the fundamental commands in turtle graphics. But up here, when we created the square, we had forward and we had right. Now there's also a backward command and a left command. All right, just to let you know, because those are used all the time. All right, so let's make something. Let's create a new program. All right, and we're gonna have to learn some basic Python concepts. So what we're gonna do is, on the left side of my screen in the idle text editor, you want to click on up in the upper left-hand corner, File, and then New File, and that will create a brand new screen for our program. All right, so resize this so it fits on our screen. All right, so this is going to make our program is going to make a hash spiral. All right, so the first thing we want to do on the first line is I want to do a hashtag to create a Python comment, and we're going to call this nice hash spiral. So that's going to be our file name. All right. So we use a hashtag in Python for comments. Next, we have to, of course, import space turtle. So we're importing the turtle library. And for this program, I'm going to name the turtle Tom. You can call it whatever you want. You just have to reference it throughout your program. So Tom equals turtle library dot pen, right? Package pen, parentheses. All right. And let's right away, let's give it the background color. So turtle.bg color, the last command we did on the previous program. And this is going to give it we want it to have a background color of black. All right, so the next concept that you want to understand in Python is how to make a list or an array. All right, so in a list, in this program, we're going to create a list called colors. All right, so the way to do a list is you give it a name. So we're going to say colors space equals space, and then the items in a list are surrounded by square brackets. So, oops, square bracket. And then we're going to give this 6 colors, all right? Our list will have 6 colors. So when you think of a list, just think of like a shopping list, a grocery list, right? So my list might be called groceries, and I give it 3 items of milk, butter, and eggs. All right, so in this program, we're going to have a colors list, and we're going to give it the colors. The first one's going to be red, double quotes, comma, and you separate the items with commas. All right, the next one is going to be purple, double quotes, comma, double quotes. Then we want blue, comma, and then green, and yellow. Followed by orange. Oops. And you close it out with a square bracket. All right. Boom. Got a colors list. I'll extend my test editor so we can see everything. All right. So now I have a colors list, and next concept we have to understand is the for loop in Python. All right. So here's the format of a for loop. We're going to do for, and then x. I'm just going to use a single letter temporary variable. You can call this whatever you want. So for x in range, when you're using a for loop, it's going to loop a certain number of times. You're going to tell it how many times I'm going to loop around the code that's inside the for loop. All right, in this case, we want to loop 360 times, which sort of represents 360 degrees. Now, at the end of a for loop statement in Python, you're going to finish with a colon. All right, so the structure of a for loop in this program is for x in range, parenthesis, 360, parenthesis, colon. All right, and x can be whatever you want to call it. It's a temporary variable name, and this number is the number of times we're going to loop in our for loop. So we're going to loop 360 times, which sort of represents a 360 degrees in a circle in this program. Remember, we're creating a hex spiral. All right, so next we're going to call Tom, and we're going to have our turtle named Tom, have a pen color, and then inside the parentheses, instead of giving it a color, we're going to reference our colors list, right? Which has 6 different colors inside of it. So we're going to say colors, our colors list, square bracket, and then I'm going to take my temporary variable from the for loop, s, right here. And x will, the first time you loop through in a for loop using x as a temporary variable, well, the s will have a number 1. Second time, x will have a number 2. Third time, x will have a number 3. And so on until you hit s equals to 360, and then you stop. All right. So s, and then I'll do a % sign, which represents modulo, which basically does division and then only returns the remainder. So if x was equal to 60, and actually, if x was equal to 10, and I'm doing x % 6, right? I'm doing 6 because we have 6 colors in our list. All right, so I call the colors list s square bracket s % 6 n square bracket, and then n parenthesis. Close it out. When I do that, when say x was equal to 6 at this point, divided by 6, right? 6 goes in there one time, but what it returns is the number 4, right? So, and it's basically saying, I want you to pick out of the list the number, the 4th color. Now, one thing you have to understand is in lists or arrays, the first item has an index of 0. It doesn't, like red in our colors list would not have an index of 1. It will have an index of 0. All right, purple will be 1, blue will be 2, green 3, yellow 4, and orange 5. So in this example, say x was equal to 10 divided by 6. So 6 goes in once, but it returns a remainder of 4. All right, so which color would have the index of 4? Most people think it'd be red would be 1, purple 2, blue 3, and it would be colored green. But in lists in Python, index starts at 0. So red's 1, purple 2, blue 3, red's 0, purple 1, blue 2, green 3, and the color would be yellow for index of 4. All right? All right, so that's how we're going to use a colors list to determine what color to use. All right, next, we're going to give it a width. All right, so tom.width. And the width is going to continuously be bigger. So we take the color, the number that we're getting from our for loop in x, divided by 100, oops, and this is going to be divided by, which is the forward slash, space, 100 plus 1. All right. So the width is x divided by 100 plus 1. Now, what else do we have to do? We have to do tom dot forward. Let's see. And here we're just going to move x. Right? Remember what I said with a for loop in Python, we're using a temporary variable called x. And x will be incremented by the number of times we're actually looping, all the way until x equals 360. And that'll be the last time it loops through. So I'm moving forward based on the number of, based on s, which will have a value of the number of times I'm looping through. And then the final statement in our for loop is tom.left. And I'm only going to turn left 59 degrees. Let's see, okay. And so all the statements inside a Python for loop that are inside the loop that are going to be executed each time I loop around have to be indented. So you can see these 4 statements here are all indented inside the for loop, all right? And that's how you do a for loop in Python. So we're ready to run. So I'll do run module, and click OK. Since this is the first time I'm saving the file, it brings up File Explorer, and I'll go to the folder where I want to save this new file. And down here under file name, we're going to call this, call it nice hex spiral.py. Hit enter, and it will run. Hopefully there's no errors, and it's running. Oh, that looks really nice. So remember, we have inside this program, we have a list called colors, and it has 6 different colors, right? We have red, purple, yellow, green, blue, orange. And you can see in our spiral, it's producing those colors, all right? And it's turning left by 59 degrees, and it is it's going to be doing 1 line for 360 times. And the way to get this to move a little bit faster, since it's taking a while, is to add a command called speed. So right after you have the background color, why don't we do speed is going to be, the command speed is going to be attached to the turtle that you have in your program. So I have tom.speed, and then you give it a number, I think up to 100. So let's make this fast. All right. So I will. Let me do like 50. See how fast that is. And then do run module. Okay, and run the program. Yeah, this is going a whole lot faster. Each line is one of 360 lines in our for loop that it's going to be doing. And you can see how you make some really nice art. So remember, if your program's going to take a long time to draw out, remember you can use the speed command and just put a value in there up to, I believe, 100. And it will go a lot faster. And I can maximize my photographic screen. Should be almost done. And there it is. So it's finished. So pretty wicked looking. And now, if you wanted to add, if I wanted to add more colors, I can just simply add more colors to the list. And so if I want to add, let's say I wanted to add 2 more colors. I'll add 2 more to the list. What do we now have yet? Green, yellow, orange. We have red, we have blue, we have green, purple, yellow, orange. Trying to think of other colors to add. Yeah, even have purple. But let's say, let me try and find a couple of. Well, I know I have. I don't know. Say I add. What if I start with brown? Brown. Don't want the colors to be too much alike near each other. When I do gold, I know that works. Gold. All right, so I've added 2 more items to my list. Double quotes. Over here. So now my list has 8 items in it. And the one thing you have to change is when we're referencing the colors list down here in our for loop, we have to have S divided by 8 instead of 6. All right, so that's how we're changing our program. So let's do a run module. And let's see what happens. So we've added brown and we've added the color gold. So our head spiral now has 8 different colors that are being selected from the colors list. So it looks a little bit different. Actually, I think 6 is probably a better number for this head spiral. Now, 8 seems to be a little more chaotic to me. But you can play with it, There's all kinds of things you can do with Turtle Graphics. So before we run out of time, let's do another program. Painter, all right. So, all right. So let's say like this one. All right. Let's do this one called Spiral My Name. All right. So what we want to do is we want to create a brand new program here. All right, so we'll do in the upper left-hand corner of our text editor, our idle text editor, we want to do file, and we want to do new file. All right, so this is going to produce a brand new program for us to create. All right. I'm just getting the screens all set up. Close that out. All right, so first thing we want to do is we want to do a comment. So hashtag, and we're going to call this spiral my name .py. Hit enter. Next line we have to do import space turtle. Hit enter. And then we'll do a background color of black once again, turtle. BG color. And with the black. And then we're going to create a turtle. We're going to call this one T. Just a single letter name, right? It makes it very easy to code when your name is very small. So T dot, or actually T equals turtle dot capital P pen, parenthesis, hit enter. So I've created a turtle named T and giving it a pen. And then we have to create another colors list. So colors equals, and then do a square bracket. And we're going to do red, and yellow, and then we'll do blue, and finally green. And then square bracket. So that creates our nice colors list. And now we're going to do something, another command that we can use in Python to ask the user for input. All right, so we're going to create a variable called your name space equals, and then we're going to do turtle dot text input parenthesis, and then you ask the question, enter your name quote comma. All right, so enter your name, and then you have to ask, what is your name? What is your name? Question mark, double quotes, and that's it. All right, now we're going to do our for loop. So for x in range, parenthesis, we're going to do this 100 times, parenthesis, and you have to end the for statement in Python with a colon. Well, all right, so first we're going to do our pen color. So T indent inside the for loop. So T dot pen color. So turtle name dot pen color, and then we have a open parenthesis, and then we'll do our colors list name. Oh, geez. All right, so inside the parentheses, we're going to call the colors list followed by a square bracket, and once again, we're going to do the x percent sign space, and we have 4 colors in our colors list, so we'll do the number 4, and then we'll do square bracket and closing parenthesis. Next, we're going to do t.pen up, and we'll do parenthesis, and then we'll do t.forward, parenthesis 4, and asterisk times, or actually x times 4, right? And at this point, once we move forward, whatever x is in the for loop, right? Whatever number of time that we're actually looping times the number 4 is how much we're going to move forward in pixels. And then we put the pen down, parenthesis, and then we do something called t.write. All right, we haven't done this before. So you do the write command, parenthesis, and then you call the variable your name, right? Which up here we created the variable your name, and we're going to ask the user for input. We're going to enter our names in on the command line in the Python shell. I'll show you that once we run our program. And then the value that the user enters, you enter, will get placed into this variable, your name. Now we're using it down here in the for loop to write out your name. So we're calling the value of what's inside the variable, your name, followed by a comma, and then font, space, equals, space, Arial, double quotes, comma, int, plus 4, space, /4. Let me expand my text editor screen so we can see things better. All right, divided by 4, parenthesis, comma, and then we want this to be bold. We'll give it the bold attribute, parenthesis, parenthesis. All right, so that's the big statement. Now we have to turn left. The final statement in our for loop is t dot left, and we're going to turn 92 degrees. All right, your name, font, equals Arial, and that's bold, pen, forward, and up, pen colors. All right, okay, and that should be it. So we're going to run this program. We'll have to save it for the first, because we're running it for the first time. We'll have to save it, and we're going to call it spiralmyname.py. And over in the command line in the Python shell, off to the right of my screen, what we're going to get is we're going to get a prompt that says, enter, what is your name? All right. And there you want to enter your name in, hit enter, and then the rest of the program will run using your name to spiral around. All right, so if you do run module, and do OK to save it. All right, so we do file. Right. And here, so I've got the right folder that I want to put this file into, and we're going to call it spiral my name.py. Always give it the py extension for any Python program, and you're going to do save. Invalid syntax. Okay, so we got a little problem here. Now, when you run the program and you get an error like I just said, well, actually, invalid syntax won't throw an error and won't put the error into the Python shell, into the command line, but other errors will, and you can get clues as to what the problem is in the Python shell. All right, so mine's a syntax error, which, if I look through my program, turtle.text input, Just have to make sure everything's spelled right. And submit your name, comma. What is your name? First range 100. All right, so we got colors, that. I don't think this is it. Sorry, I dropped my mouse. I don't think this is it. The spacing here. But I should try it. So I got pen up, forward S, that, and I got pen down, right. Your name, right, comma, font equals, Arial, int, oh, that's the problem. I forgot an opening parentheses after int, after the word int, right here. Opening parentheses, s plus 4, end parentheses, divided by 4, end parentheses, comma, and then double quotes, bold, end parentheses, end parentheses. So that should be it. I'll do a run module. All right, nice pop-up window came up. Enter your name. What is your name? All right, so my name is Scott, and I click OK. There we go. It's spiraling my name with 4 different colors. And my name is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger every time it goes around. Every time we loop, it's going to get a little bit bigger. And like I said before, so you can see what happened there. So I wanted you to see it in a slower motion being created. But now, let's say, we're going to add that speed command. But now keep in mind, if any commands that you add that are related to the specific turtle, you have to add after you create the turtle. So here's the line where I create my turtle, the turtle named T, right? If I put up here above where I'm creating my turtle, if I put T.speed, parentheses, 50, parentheses, it would blow up because it'd be like T is not defined yet, all right? So you have to make sure you put, when you're referencing a turtle, you have to create the turtle first. So I'll put it below where I create the turtle. So I'll do T.speed, parentheses, 60, oops, T.speed, 60, parentheses, and I will do a run module, okay. And just a nice pop-up window asking the user for input. So I'm going to make my name long so it shows up even more. Ratio dash onomatopoeia. Horatio onomatopoeia. Let's see what happens. You see how the speed is making it nice and big. I'm going to maximize my turtle graphics screen. All right, that's how to sloppy, really. The name's too long. All right, so I'm going to run it once more, and I'll use a more reasonable name so it looks nice. I can just go back to my name. Click OK. Nice and fast. And there it is. A spiral my name program. And let me close that out. So now You could add more colors to our colors list, right? We have 4 colors right now, but if you added more, whatever number of items you have in your list, you have to change this line right here in our for loop. You have S modulo, the percent sign, and you have to put the number of colors inside of here that are in your list. So if I added 4 more colors, so I have a total of 8 color items in my colors list, I'd have to change this to 8. All right, and you might want to change this to 8 also to move forward. I mean, you should mess around with the program to look all different kinds of ways. So, and also if you wanted to print out more than 100 times, right? There's up here on the for loop, for SM range parentheses 100 parentheses colon. We're printing it out 100 times. So what if I wanted to print it out more, 200 times? So that just means I'm going to loop through all these instructions 100 more times, right? So I'll be looping 200 times in total, all of this. So if I do a run module, ask me my name, so that, okay, I'll maximize my screen. So if I run this, and what I can do is I can enter my name. So now it's going to loop 200 times. I'll maximize my turtle graphics screen. And you can say, so you can play with the number of colors, the different types of colors, the number of times it's going to write out your name, how long or short your name is, the different kinds of font. So you can see it's showing off my screen because no, it stayed on the screen pretty much. Anyway, that's it for our class today. I hope you've enjoyed it. And my name is Scott Bartow. This has been creating digital art using Python Turtle Graphics. And it's been offered to you by the Clifton Park Half Moon Library. Thanks again for joining me today.